Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community. More than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne. I'm a currency trader just like you. Let me know how I can help. Been trading for about 20 years. Before that, I was in the world of finance. So I know a little bit, and I am here to share. So I'm going to rely on you to ask questions. So we can just burn through the charts and do a technical analysis, or we can talk about fundamentals, or we could talk about trader psychology, or I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. Let me know. Let's make this hour of power powerful. So I'll let you be the boss. I'm just a simple currency trader. I'm a humble currency trader. So I don't know. Let me know. I suppose we'll talk about the stock market, gold, oil, Bitcoin. There's a lot going on in this complicated world we call Earth. So I don't know. Again, what's on your mind? I hope you've been following the news as well as the fundamentals. In the description below the video, there's some links I want you to click. One goes to Amazon.com so you can leave a review on my book. You may have purchased the book but forgot to leave a review. I'd appreciate it if you could leave a review. The second one is I want you to join FX Bootcamp. We just upgraded it to leverage the power of community. So we got a lot of new features going on there. We have like a Zoom type technology built right into our platform. We have various groups where we can post to and share and give feedback. There's some gamification. It's kind of cool. It's new, so we're getting used to it. But we did the swing trading group last night. It was pretty cool because it automatically uploaded it, the recording, and posted it in an easy place to find. And you can pop the window. I don't know if you noticed that for FX Bootcampers. You don't have to go full screen like we used to. You can actually pop it out and change the size manually. But anyway, so that worked pretty cool. In fact, if you want, I can open that up and I can show you what I'm talking about. So fxbootcamp.com, hey, it's $88 a year and it'll make a difference. And it'll connect you even better than before with other traders just like yourself. Okay. And then lastly, I want you to check out tradersway.com. We all need brokers. I think you should give Traders Way an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. I think you'll like them. I like them. Try them. I don't think you'll be unhappy. I can't promise you happiness, but I don't think you'll be unhappy. But what you'll find is the execution speed is faster than most. That's good. The spreads are very competitive. The swaps are good, sometimes even great. But ultimately, I trust them. Maybe you'll learn to trust them as well. Tradersway.com. And I did something yesterday, and I don't know why it took so long. I got frustrated with my computer setup. So about, a couple of years ago, I got this 49-inch monitor. It's 49 inches wide, and it's only, I don't know, half that tall. So it's ultra wide. It's about as wide as 3 monitors, but it's one screen. And I thought that was cool. And it's curved and all that. Cool. I thought, oh, all right, neat. But there's a lot of things, especially if you're a streamer or you do a lot of Zoom calls and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the software just can't handle such an ultra-wide monitor. And so yesterday, using our new Zoom type room to do the swing trading group, I had a choice. I could share my screen, but then, of course, it would be 49 inches wide. It just doesn't work well. People can't. And then, I went to share a window, but that means a couple of things. I couldn't share my sound for some reason. But also I couldn't use my drawing tool. And I'm like, what? I love my drawing tool, right? Because it was sharing a window, but not the screen, you see? So I got frustrated with that last night. And then I realized, oh my God, what I need to do is have taken HDMI from my machine to my monitor, but then jam in a display port from my machine to my monitor and display it as two inputs. And my monitor could do it. So now this area in the middle that you see with these indices is my entire left screen. How cool is that? That's my entire left screen. But I only have one screen, but that's neat, right? That's my first graduation at Harvard. So that's half my screen, which is kind of neat. So now I can go full screen and it's the right setting. And that was kind of a problem earlier as well. So now I got all that set up. And I hope it works well. So as far as Windows is concerned, so I just opened up a window. It didn't pop up over you. But as far as Windows is concerned, I have two screens. Two physical screens. Cool. But it's one screen. How nice. Now, I know you can snap and all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't solve my problem. They need to be two physical or virtual screens. So anyways, that worked out well. Jim says, as far as the new features, a 24-hour chat and all that. Yeah, but the thing is, in the past, people would use it for 3 days and then stop using it. So I hope people use it. Hang on, I just wanted to show everyone where the new video is. So this is the updated FX Bootcamp. So you have access to all the community features over here. And here's where you go to the meetups, which are our meetings. And you can see the next one is the Sunday Day Trading Group. And if you subscribe, it'll invite you. So go ahead and subscribe. You just go click like I did and you get the check mark and it'll email you a reminder. Hey, it's about to start. But for everyone that attended last night's swing trading group, it just posts it right here. Isn't that cool? February 9th, swing trading. So at first when I clicked it, I went, oh no. It didn't. Oh, there. It did a thing. Okay, cool. Let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Okay. And I'm like, oh, no, it's tiny. And then I went full screen and I'm like, oh, no, but I don't want full screen, right? And then I notice you click here. I think it's here. No, maybe it's here. Check this out. Picture in picture. Boom. There it is. And it pops it right off. It's floating. It's a floating player, and you can resize it to whatever you want. One, your past performance, good or bad, not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the
cool, right?
Never risk money.
That's noise.
So they'll all be here. How How do you get into the chat? Well, you have to be a member of FX Bootcamp. And this is the broad one. Okay. Cool. There's also a leaderboard that shows you the most active people. Nice. Anyways, so that's that. That's neat. That's neato. So a big upgrade. And there's a mobile version too. So Johnny logged in from his phone last night and he said it was great. Because it doesn't, you don't have to log into boot camp from your phone and then launch Zoom from your phone and all that kind of stuff. So anywho, yeah, some cool stuff. All right, so let's move on. .com. Let's click this. By the way, thank you for taking the poll. Oh, and yes, welcome back, Darko. Lucas is on mobile a lot. Yeah. Okay. So most of you are interested in dollar, very few interested in yen, but the yen popped yesterday. So let's start with that. I think that's the most interesting news. Well, that's not fair. There's a couple of different things going on. So you can see yen across the board got strong, in particular against things you might have already been bearish on. Euro yen tanked. Aussie yen tanked. Okay, and then there were some massive recoveries. All right. One of the things that took place yesterday in Japan is there was a soft launch of the new head of the Bank of Japan. And then the idea was the new boss at the Bank of Japan is going to end easy accommodative conditions, aka raise interest rates and let yields rise. So the yen got strong immediately. And then he said, yeah, but we still need accommodative conditions. And then it rallied. Well, in this case, dropped. So like euro yen dropped, hit the target, by the way, went back up on the counter news, and now we're just kind of going through the whole process again. Alistair got out of South Africa? No way. How far out? Zimbabwe? Angola? Or somewhere else? Moses says, Sir Wayne, I never knew I needed deep patience with Forex. However, I'm now doing great waiting for the long market. Awesome. That makes me really happy, Moses. So anyway, so that was the big news last night. Ciao to the downside. Again, the logic is the Bank of Japan by the end of the year could raise interest rates and or allow yields to rise. They're not the same thing. Interest rates and yields are not the same thing, but it's part of their qualitative and quantitative policy. So, oh, you're in Amsterdam, heading over to the UK. Well, congratulations. I hope you find everything you're looking for. 'Cause I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Okay. Nice little trend here. What do you think of that? Look at that. Down, 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 up, up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. Down, 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 down. So if this is a new trend, the target is roughly 80. We'll call it 80. So you still have about 300 pips to the downside, which is, of course, the upside if you're selling. Yeah, that's right. Frank says Kiwi Yen was a nice trade yesterday. Yeah, remember, technically, it's set up just fine. So using FX Bootcamp's standard methodology, this is obviously a sell. Okay? But the actual drop of this candle had nothing to do with the technicals. So there's a little bit of, luck. Or fortuitousness. Fortuity. Okay, that's a fundamental play. Again, that's related to the Bank of Japan. Okay, and now maybe there's a continuum mission type play here. Okay, but this could go all the way to 83 and then you dump it at 83. You might have already missed that up. Okay, so yeah, that's an easy sell, but there's some luck to that. Flavor Fave, Aussie Yen. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know if you believe we've broken through, but the sell is very high. So we're at 90.60. I would say 91 would be the basic sell here if you're a bear. And that could be either it's not going to do it or it's not going to do it today. Maybe it'll do it today. But that's kind of where I'm thinking on that. But it's not trending as well as the others, so I'm not sure why you're focusing on that one. I've reserved that one for bullishness. Not that it's bullish, but if the market becomes bullish, then I probably want to go there. So I would be much more interested in sell euro or even better sell pound yen. And it's just much better chart for that. So notice, for example, the Aussie yen was above the central pivot and kind of double topping like this. Now, if you look at pound yen, it went way below the central pivot and is still below the central pivot. So Aussie yen is above the central pivot. Pound yen is below the central pivot, which would indicate this is much more bearish. Then you do some basic technical analysis, and it says this week, if 160 is the top, then 155 is the bottom. Now, of course, we didn't make that move, but that might still be in play. So you get this, down, up, let's say yet another touch, and then down, and then up, and then down to 55. So we're at 58 going for 55. There should be 300 in this. 300 PIPS. What do you think? My hands are tired, my body's bruised, got nothing to win. All right, let's take a look at the stock market. And that's our 4-hour plan into a daily plan. So we're now, looks like on target. And maybe something like that is next. What do you think? I think that would be a plan A, and this would be a plan B. Wayne, with the yen gaining strength, wouldn't this be an even more push towards more inflation for the trading partners who purchase? Yeah. I mean, you have to pay more for a yen. Yep. But it wouldn't be dramatic. We haven't had a dramatic move. Okay, but anyhow. All right, so why would we get up if this is falling? And why do I have that X already marked out? I'll switch to the daily chart and oh snap! Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. His arms and knees are weak. Mom spaghetti. So we're on that 21, which is now a buy zone. Even if you're a bear, doesn't change anything. It's still a buy zone. Ah. Okay, DAX coming down hard, which is nice. Why is it nice? Well, I'm actually a bear, but we're looking at it and it is bullish. The market's bullish, but I might be fundamentally bearish. So here's the next trick here. There's the future shoulder. Here's the neckline. And you get this next. Up, 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 down, down. Okay. Frank says next week's CPI will be important. Well, also retail sales. They're back to back. So that's DAX. DAX might come down. Okay. This is a plan that Jim made. We discussed how to carry that off down into the buy zone with a Stokes kicker. Favor, why are you doing cross trades? Think you'd be better off on a major pair. So anyways, you want to look at this ASX coming down, FTSE coming down, S&P 500 coming down, Euro 50 coming down, DAX coming down. That helps you set your bias. And so favor, in that case, you might say dollar would be, a dollar currency pair would be so much better than a cross pair. It's when there's ambivalence in a major that you should switch over to a cross, or there's a particular macro event attacking one particular currency. Then you can take advantage of selling that currency or buying that currency versus everything, and that's how you get yourself into a cross. That would be a relative strength play, but I don't think you have the best conditions for doing that right now, in my humble opinion. Let's do gold, oil, and Bitcoin next. Okay, so we had a little bit of news yesterday. By the way, we're in a buy zone if you're going to be a buyer today. Okay, so yesterday, Russia announced they're going to cut oil exports to as retaliation to the embargo or the price cap. Huh? Favor, are you bullish or bearish on that pair? Frank says, do I also look at volatility index for risk on, risk off? No, not for risk on, risk off. But I suppose you could. But that just shows you the level of hedging. Remember, it's not actually measuring volatility. It's measuring the amount of hedges on the S&P 500. So if portfolio managers were worried about the S&P 500 falling and they did not want to exit their cash positions from investments they made in the past, then they would hedge the downward move by using options, so that they can make some money on the options to the downside to offset the loss in the cash. And that's what the VIX is measuring. So favor, let me go back to favor. Are you bullish or bearish? Okay. We'll see what we're doing here for today. I'm going to move my stop to break even because now we have the lower high. Okay, so this is gold. We had upward momentum. Up, down, up, down. Okay, up, down, up, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and maybe a new lower low coming next. For that to work out, you probably need the stock market down, and it looks like it might fall today. Okay. So favor's gone, I guess? Didn't like my response? All right. Okay, so we'll see. If it's helpful, you can update your template. Oh, look at that. Pops on the other screen. Cool. Biased pivots. Oh, no, I got to drag that over there. Just in case you need to see the pretty colors. There you go. So you can see today's sell zone was right here. We knew that yesterday, just like we know tomorrow's sell zone is about here. So for that to work, today needs to come down to about 18.5. And then this will probably come down a little bit. And then Monday's play might be this. Although that's daily pivots. Next week, we'll probably have to set something up on, obviously, weeklies. Okay. You might say, Wayne, why there? If you go to this chart, which is the 4-hour, you can see what the plan was on the higher time frame. Let me do it this way. Down, 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 up, up. And the plan is down, 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 down. Okay. That's that. Frank, I don't think I would do it that way because remember, I mean, what percentage of the market is trading VIX as an asset? And in fact, many institutions trade the, what do they call it? The anti-VIX? The VIX, you buy it when the VIX is falling. It's a leveraged VIX product. I can't remember. But some institutions do that. But I would do it the other way if I were me, Frank. I would look at the S&P 500 and say, if S&P 500 is going to fall, then I want to buy VIX. Because if it starts falling, institutional investors will say, all right, today's a hedging day. And they buy some options to hedge their cash position. Therefore, if they buy the options to hedge their cash position, VIX goes up. Okay, so I wouldn't trade it just because of the charts. I would trade it by sort of the underlying reality of what's happening. Okay, so it's not necessarily VIX up, stocks down, it's stocks down, VIX up. And you're like, it's the same thing. No, it's not. Okay. One's a trunk, the other one's a tail. Favor, I asked you 3 times, so I think you left. What is your bias? You tell me first. Are you a bull or a bear on pound kitty cat? Cool. Bitcoin fell hard yesterday. That was quite something. So that's also risk off, which would be advantageous for my gold short position. Disinflationary pressures. Okay. Interesting. So now we've hit the bearish target. If you see the pivots, okay. Again, if you take the training course, you'll notice that that number there predicts this number here. And it's exact. Okay. Nice. So I already got that planned out. My WTI. That's interesting. Cool. So we did the stock market. We did some commodities. We did some yens. Guess we'll do some dollars. Pound cat bullish. Okay, there we go. I disagree with you. So that's that. So let's see. Interest rates favor Canada. Inflation favors Canada. GDP favors Canada. Technical trends favor Canada. But there's a little bit of seasonality here at play. But not much, actually. Seasonality doesn't really favor. This says 1, but it doesn't seem to be much. So, yeah, this almost looks like really still generally down for the next few months. So this will turn to a negative number pretty soon. Excuse me. So in the UK, 0% GDP versus 0.7 in Canada. Inflation in the UK, 10.5 versus 6.3 in Canada. Okay. Unemployment favors the UK. Interest rates, slight bias toward Canada. And we know Canada's paused right now, so maybe that's part of your thought process. Retail sentiment is 50-50, which means you should stay away from it, generally speaking. And pound and CAD are not favorable. So this goes back to what I was saying before. Favor, you asked me about pound CAD, and the first thing I said is it's not the right thing to be trading. It doesn't really make sense to me. You should be doing a completely different style of trading. And then I look at this market here, and that's not a market you want to trade on the retail side. And then when you look at institutional investors, nobody's long any of these things. It's just not a very good trade. And you're long, you're bullish, but that doesn't make a lot of sense either. So no, I'm going to go right back to what I said within 1 second of you posting your question. That doesn't make any sense. So you will find a better trade than that. You said seasonally it's bullish. Well, let's see. I have it seasonally bearish, okay, until Canada Day. There might be a little bit of up, but like, dude, seriously? That's okay. So I look at that and I'm like, nah. And then you can see what's happened. So QuantBox says this is going down, and it has gone down. The gray areas, okay, the gray area is what's actually happened, and the blue area is the 20-year average, and the red one is the 5-year. So I would say the first half of the year, this comes down most of the time. So I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I would have to disagree with that trade. Okay. But I knew it right away. And even if this leans to the sell, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So what you should probably do is look at this indicator here. What's smart money doing? The smart money is selling CAD, selling pound. So go find something else to do. Are they selling pound dollar? Are they selling pound yen? Are they selling pound Swissy? Are they buying USD CAD? Is CAD yen falling? Like, is CAD Swissy falling? Like, go figure this out. But both the retail sentiment, or no, this is actually positioning, and sentiment just shows that this clearly isn't what people are trading. So you're kind of seeing a mirage. And even if you made the trade and made money, what I'm trying to say, Favor, is even if you traded it and made money, there's almost certainly a better trade somewhere else that's either less risk or more reward or even both. Okay? Okay, so anyways, just a heads up. All right. So if the stock market's going to fall next week, I'm already prepared. I'm already ready. Look at that, guys. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's just an underlying platform. Mubarak. It's just an underlying platform. Funny thing is, I saw them when they were a tiny little startup, 10 or 12 years ago. And, well, they all growed up now. But it's just, right, it's just a platform. All right, cool. So what do you think about that? James, it's fxbootcamp.com. You put it in a credit card. Then you're in. Yeah. By the way, Jim, if you have feedback on how to organize it so it's more like the Discord server, let me know. Oh, is that right, Lucas? Did you click on... I don't think I have it open. Okay, so you log in and you see a page like this, right, Jimmy? So you might first need to click on live community and events. Oh. What's going on? Nothing's right, I'm torn. Let's see if that happens again. Oh. Ah, we got a beast going. Let's see if they all do that. Go into the swing trade. Is that what you're getting? Huh. Refuse to connect. All right. Well, I'll have to communicate. Yeah. All right. Interesting. So some of it works, but some of it doesn't. All right. So strange. And turn. Yeah, still. Some of it works, some of it don't. Strange. Yeah, so people are entering swing trades for feedbacks. So now it works. So there's just a glitch in the matrix. Huh, I still have it. Well, it'll fix. It's coming. They'll fix it. Try it again. No, it's still glitchy for me. All right, well, it'll get fixed. So it's weird that some of it works and some of it doesn't. I don't know why. We'll get it. Shivpreet, what's going on, buddy? All right, so anywho, there we go. Yeah, well, yeah. We'll get there. All right. Yeah, so Canada doing well on the jobs report, obviously. So we can isolate CAD. Okay, and this is what I was talking about before. So Canada has a good job report. That's how you build a cross position, by the way. So you go to you go to that. And as I said before, if there's something specific to CAD, not just a flow, but like an event, that's where you isolate by doing a scan. And that's how you get like pound CAD short, Euro CAD short, okay, CAD Swissy short, okay, Aussie CAD short, Kiwi CAD short. That's how you do that. But you don't do it unless there's an event, for example, a reason, rationale particular to CAD. Otherwise, I'm a global macro trend trader, which means I'm usually trading a funding currency. So 90% of the time, I'm risk on or risk off. Based on my macroeconomic analysis, I'm asking a question like, is the global economy expanding or contracting? And from that, I have a bias. But then along the way, you get individual news. So it's not really micro economics, but let's call it micro, meaning focused on one thing, not everything. So macroeconomics is the aggregate of the global economy. So we could pretend micro is one particular economy in the global economy. News comes out in Canada, and there's way more jobs than we thought. Canadian dollar gets strong on that news. So then you go into a cross pair, pull up the CAD, and buy CAD across the board, or in the process of your individual economic outlook. So for example, you already know I'm bearish on the Great British Pound. Give it time, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Just give it time. We launched it literally a day and a half ago, so it'll be fine. We'll get there. I'll hit up support and we can kick the server or something. So you guys already know I'm bearish on the Great British Pound. So if you had a similar thought, you would attack the pound versus the Canadian dollar with a very good jobs report. Also, technical analysis of this pair based on at least bearishness on the pound. It dictates that that's the top of the market and this is the bottom of the market. So carrying that out, it says not just today, but follow up for today. We're likely to see some price action like this next week. So the target is 160. The trip started at 165. Okay? We made a drop, a lower high, and now you're taking it down to the low. What do you stink? Oh, you want yield? Okay, I'll give you what I have. Here's your yield. If you want to look at the seasonality of the yield, yields tend to be heading up soon. Okay. The last 5 years, it's kind of choppy. Okay. But over 20 years, you can see around now, yields rise a little bit, which means what? Money coming out of the bond market, okay, and plausibly going into the stock market, or at least coming out. That's all we know, really. Now, over the last 5 years, it's been choppy, a lot of central bank changes. We had COVID. There's a lot of things that kind of distort this, but you can see it's not far off, is it? So it's just smoother, 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 smoother. Okay, just a little bit smoother. Okay. I don't care about you, Mitch. I don't care about any survey, but in particular, I don't care about you, Mitch. It's an incredibly small sample size. It's a survey. I just don't care. I'm a macro economist, so I don't really care about you, Mitch. So anywho, okay, so I taught you how to set up a cross currency, a cross pair, and why. We went over the stock market. We went over the commodity market. We looked at even the seasonality of bond yields in the United States, in particular the 10-year T-note. We looked at Bitcoin. We discussed Russian cuts of oil exports. We talked about the Bank of Japan choosing a new leader and its impact on the yen. We looked at some dollar pairs. Well, it seems like good enough. That's a pretty good morning, right? So, would you click the thumbs up button on your way out? And if you're new, maybe subscribe. And I will bid you adieu. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're in my day trading group, I will see you Sunday evening. Remember to subscribe. So let's see if this will work. Is this the right one? Go to meetups. And if you're in my day trading group, subscribe. I'm not sure. If you're not in my day trading group, these might not even show up. One thing I did learn is the proper way to enter the room on Sunday is by clicking on private room. Or I believe, if it's going to let me in, you click this one. Okay. The other one, it's not this one. That's what I did last time. I thought it would just open up, but no, it opens up a different room. So, sorry. Yeah, I guess so. Hang on. Nope, not that one. This one. Sorry. Okay, I went to meetups. So what I was saying here is if you're in my day trading group, when you click on meetups, you'll see the Sunday, Monday meetups. Remember, Tuesday, there's a stop, look, and correct session as well as a Tuesday day trading, right? So you click on this to subscribe and all that kind of stuff. What I did wrong yesterday in the swing trading group is I launched this. That's the wrong one. So that opened a different room. I thought it was going to launch the swing trading room. It didn't. So to enter on Sunday, okay, go into the Sunday day trading group page and click on this. And that'll launch the proper room. Okay, you can add it to your calendar for reminders, all that kind of stuff. Cool. So, peace on earth, may the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful day.